Hi, this is a meeting with the universe on the Old Soul Tarot channel with the Curious Cat series for May 2025. I am going to just let the universe talk. I did already pull a message just to kind of see what might be discussed, and it may not be for everyone, so if you're willing to hear it out, I am happy to have you here. What do you have? Meeting with the universe, May 2025. Okay, the animal. The animal. Ooh, the offering. The unseen. I was gonna say, I feel like this has to do with being able to see beyond, right? So I feel like it's something to do with being able to see beyond the physical. Being able to see what's beyond just in front of us. I feel like there's something to do with us going deeper. I feel like there's something to do with us tapping into that heart-centered truth. I feel like there is something to do with a universal truth, heart-centered truth. The womb is here. I feel like it's speaking to this energy of creation. It is speaking to an energy of creation. The creator. We're all just walking along. We're all just traveling this space together. The medallion. I feel like it has something to do with how we choose to extend ourselves, what we're choosing to extend to others around us. The gem. I feel like it's seeing that beauty within ourselves, but also seeing that beauty within one another, seeing ourselves in others, seeing others in ourselves. I feel like it is how you extend yourself. Whether or not you extend yourself to others in a way that is sincere, compassionate, empathetic, sympathetic, kind. I feel like that's the universal heart-centered truth of the matter. And again, I feel like it's seeing beyond just like the physical, right? Seeing beyond what's just right in front of us. What affects us individually. There's something to do with like a ripple effect of how we interact with one another. Tell us more about the animal. Meeting with the universe, May 2025. What more about the animal? I feel like I should have switched the light, but anyway. Okay, Trick is here. Ooh, Trick. I feel like there's something to do with our mind. Like mind tricks is what I got, was mind tricks when this came out with the animal. I feel like it's what we've been led to believe, what we've been taught to think about one another, others different from us, maybe, I want to say. On the bottom is joy and care. Okay, I'm not going to say that just yet. Let me have another one before I say more, please. The animal. Meeting with the universe, May 2025. Can I get? Thank you. Okay, care. Communicate, freedom. I feel like it is how we choose to extend ourselves to one another. Whether or not we come from this place of light and care, right? Or whether or not we allow our ego to get in the way of that. And I feel like it does stem from some sort of like influence of what we've been led to believe, what we've been taught to think, where we let that interfere. I feel like it's breaking down that wall. It's breaking down that barrier with one another. I had a conversation with somebody recently, and I made the comment how we are all God in human form. And I feel like there is something to do with honoring that. I feel like there's something to do with us honoring one another, right? It's the divinity in ourselves, but also the divinity in others. Acknowledging that, respecting that. But I feel like because of what we've been taught to think, what we've been taught or led to believe, we sometimes let that interfere with our interactions. And look, actually, kindness is behind that. I feel like kindness is the key to our freedom, essentially. What's the unseen? May 2025, meeting with the universe. What's the unseen? Death. I feel like it has to do with that transition. It has to do with that transformation. I feel like how we influence what happens next, what occurs next as a result of our choices, our free will in this life. Joy is here on the bottom, and so is inspire. I feel like this is like the direction we're to move towards, right? It's towards that energy of light, towards that energy of divinity, embodying that. I feel like there's an energy of adaptation when it comes to that, right? I feel like there's something to do with like a shift. I feel like we are to like kind of like lead the way in that sense, because I feel like it's kind of going against what you've been taught, what you've been led to believe. What else about the unseen with death? I feel like there's more to it. There's more beneath the surface. And I feel like you have to be willing to see beyond. Right? Work is here. I feel like this is putting in that work. This is putting in that effort to move down a different path, to move down this path of enlightenment, to move down that path where I feel like you honor and embrace that universal heart-centered truth, which is the fact that we are all connected to the universe, to one another. Intention, patience. I feel like there is an energy of us having pure intentions, right? Maybe extending this patience to others, being willing to see beyond the surface, being willing to have an open mind, realizing that the world does not revolve around us as individuals, obviously, right? That's what's coming to mind. All right, what about the medallion? Tell us more about the medallion. Meeting with the universe, May 2025. What about this medallion? Power. Ooh. I do feel like it has to do with like more superficial things, more like earthly matters. Not allowing that to cloud your vision or your awareness when it comes to that heart-centered truth of the universe, that interconnectedness, and again, not allowing the ego to partake in how it is that you come across, how you extend yourself, whether or not you extend yourself to others, how you choose to treat others, what you choose to see when it comes to others. Hunt is here. And disguise. I feel like it's kind of like removing that. I feel like it's shedding that skin, shedding those traits about ourselves where I feel like we fall short of that divinity. Can we get one more with the medallion? Meeting with the universe. May 2020. Thank you. Play and sacred. I feel like it's basically like how we play into this energy of sacredness, how we play into, I feel like the trickery. I feel like it's coming back to the trickery, how we play into that, whether or not we play into that. I feel like, or do we come from this more sacred place? Because I feel like that sacred place is the heart-centered truth of the universe, that we are all connected. We are interconnected, not only with the universe, to the universe, but with one another, to one another. And I feel like if you're not honoring one another in that sense, and you're not honoring the universe in that sense, then are you honoring, like, say you believe in God, are you honoring God? If what you believe in is God, and God created all of this, and God created us, where's the love and compassion that you show your neighbor? Where's the love and compassion you show yourself? Right? Because I feel like it starts within. I feel like it starts with us as individuals, and I feel like we extend that outward. Provide is on the bottom, and freedom. I feel like the secret has to do with the wisdom of the universe in that sense when it comes to the interconnectedness, right? I feel like it is breaking down those barriers, breaking down those walls. I feel like that's where the freedom is. I feel like there's freedom in that universal truth, that heart-centered truth of the universe. I feel like there is also something to do with the world going dark in the event that we don't honor that. The universe provides, right? But I feel like it provides from a place of love. It provides from a space of light. We operate out of ego, more than not. And I feel like that's the trickery. I feel like that's what we've been led to believe. That's what we've been taught to think by those in charge, essentially. So I feel like this is kind of like walking a different path. This is walking that path of light. This is walking that path of divinity, being open to it, being understanding of it, not allowing the worldly things to interfere or hinder that. Because I feel like at the end of the day, we're either going to pay a price or we're going to reap a reward. Can we get more on, what was that? Can we get more on the animal? Can you tell us more about the animal meeting with the universe, May 2025? The Devil, the Empress, and the Hangman. Five of Cups is on the bottom, Chariot is on the bottom, and the Two of Cups is on the bottom. So the Hangman on these cards, on this deck, is speaking to lighting above graves. Souls that may be stolen. I feel like that's the trickery, is we kind of allow ourselves to be taken advantage of, right? I want to say by the system. We allow ourselves to be taken advantage of, I feel like, more than not. The Empress, I feel like it's speaking to that love, it's speaking to that compassion. I feel like that's where the treasure lies, is within, right? It's that heart space, that heart-centered truth that lies within us all. I feel like it is just a matter of like uncovering that for yourself. I feel like it's just a matter of realization, right? Openness. The Devil, I feel like, again, that's that trickery. It even says how the devil tricks mortals into being bound. I feel like that tends to make things worse. right? Rather than better with the Devil. Two of Cups, that's about that energy of love. And the Chariot, this does mention discord. And the Five of Cups also mentions destruction, right? I feel like the destruction is something to do with the mind, because this even talks about intellect, increasing your intellect, right? But I feel like they try to influence that and intervene with what it is you might otherwise know about yourself, about the universe, the way that it works, how we are all connected. Tell us about the unseen. May 2025, meeting with the universe. Tell us about the unseen. Thank you. Knight of Cups. So again, this is speaking to that energy of love. Putting in that work, showing that compassion, extending yourself from that place. Six of Cups is on the bottom. This is extending yourself. I feel like in a manner that's honest. I feel like in a manner that's true to that heart space. I feel like the way that the universe intended for the world to be, or God, I don't think that justice, how angels fell, I don't think he intended for that. I don't think the universe planned on just how destructive we could be. Tell us how the angels fell. It's the injustice of us as humans, our egos, that devil energy, how it influences us. King of Swords reveals knowledge, shows favor. I feel like there's an energy of mercy here amongst ourselves, amongst each other. What's the medallion meeting with the universe? May 2025, please. What's the medallion? Whether or not we play into that trickery. Nine of Swords. This is about battles and war. The wounds. I feel like tending to the wounds, healing the wounds. I feel like there's a deep wound collectively as humans. We are deeply wounded. I feel like there was no intention for us to be as destructive as we are, as divisive as we are. Selfish. King of Wands. Yep. This is about passionate rage, desire, destruction, a lack of happiness, wasting the beauty of life, wasting the beauty of this opportunity that we have to create something more divine, something more sacred, harmonious. I feel like we're allowing ourselves to be taken advantage of, and I feel like at the end of the day that leads to the destruction of our future. King of Swords again, and the Four of Swords. I feel like the Four of Swords is the things that we choose to hold on to that kind of don't really matter at the end of the day, right? I feel like it is the more superficial things that we hold on to, or that we find value in, that we take care of, that we honor more than we do ourselves, more than we do each other. I feel feel like there's something to do with us getting real, getting honest when it comes to this truth, when it comes to this healing, that I feel like ultimately lies in our own hands. I feel like it's that ripple effect. Can you give us more? Meeting with the universe, May 2025. Divine timing and trust the process. Embrace uncertainty. Have faith in the journey unfolding before you. Be patient, for some things take time to manifest fully. It's kind of like an energy of time will tell. Trust the process. I feel like it's trusting this universal truth, this heart-centered truth of the universe. Gate of opportunities and seizing every minute. It says to embrace each moment with purpose, for time is a precious gift on your journey of self-discovery. Pass through the gate of opportunities wherein new paths unfurl with boundless potential. So I feel like in that space of honoring that universal heart-centered truth, we do open the door to something greater, something new. There is potential, but I feel like ultimately it's up to us what we do with that, right? With that medallion. Move with purpose. Embrace each moment with purpose. I feel like don't be careless. Dream, weaver, and make miracles. Dreaming and imagining bring your powerful vision into reality. Stay open-minded and receptive to the magic unfolding in your life. So be open-minded. I feel like also realizing what it is that you choose to do, how that does affect those around you, the things around you, right? Energetically, if not like in the physical, but I feel like it also happens in the physical. Winds of fortune and adapt and thrive. Allow the winds of fortune to guide your sails, maneuvering through life's opportunities and challenges with adaptability. Luck flows with change. Stay flexible, embrace shifts, and learn from the journey as answers reveal themselves. I do feel like it's a matter of time will tell. I feel like there is a need for adaptation. I feel like there is a need for change. I feel like positive change. I feel like it has something to do with that universal heart-centered truth. That's where the opportunities lie. I feel like outside of that, if we don't honor that, we don't act from that place of divinity, I feel like the chances of us having much of a future are more limited, I want to say. Hear what's unsaid, quiet moments. Tune into the silence for truths that words cannot express. Listen deeply. Seek solace in the silence where clarity finds its true voice. So I feel like that's in order to uncover that heart-centered truth, right? That universal truth. I feel like that stems from a place of love. It stems from a place of compassion and empathy or sympathy, kindness. Can we get final advice regarding this meeting with the universe, May 2025? Serene Sampler, find inner calm and serenity amidst life's chaos. So I feel like, again, that's kind of like taking the lead, right? I feel like that's kind of going within, making those changes within, and then extending that outward, right? Because it's that ripple effect. Reinvented fabric, embrace transformation, molding your narrative through the art of reinvention. I feel like it is transforming and reinventing ourselves as a means to transform and reinvent our world, right? I feel like we help one another in that sense. Embrace your journey in its entirety, finding beauty in both light and dark moments. So I feel like it's kind of being that light in the dark. It's seeing the light, even in a place where you might feel darkness. Final advice, please. Meeting with the universe, May 2025. Don't allow yourself to be led astray, I want to say. Freedom flows. Don't hold yourself back from worldly freedom. Dream grand things for divine sacred reasons. So I do feel like this is a matter of like putting that out into the universe, right? Those more pure intentions, those that positive energy. Three-eyed raven. As sunrise hits upon the dew, a messenger raven calls out with news. Prepare for the unexpected. What is the unexpected? Fortune and Tarot, collective destiny. The palm lines from birth tell your sacred palmistry. Listen to the notes of intuition. I feel like it is honoring that inner truth. It's honoring that universal heart center truth. There is a collective destiny. Maybe that's what is unexpected, right? Like, do we really know what to expect at the end of the day? Probably not. I feel like there is room for change. Like I said, I feel like there's the potential for something new, something better. But I feel like we do have to be willing. We do have to put in that work. Destiny, one door closes, another opens for you. Let the plans of destiny unravel true. I feel like this is also speaking to that where I said, at the end of the day, we're either going to pay a price or reap the reward. And I feel like that's what that's speaking to. One door closes, another door opens, right? I feel like you basically are in charge of your own destiny, your own path. And I feel like what you put out, you're going to get back at the end of the day, right? Whether it's like while you're still here on this earth alive, or whether it's in some other like realm or reality, right? On the other side, if you believe in heaven or hell or what have you, I feel like at the end of the day, you either pay a price or you reap a reward. And I feel like it's based on whether or not you choose to honor that heart-centered truth, that universal truth, which stems from the interconnectedness of us all, that divinity. All right, so this is what I have for y'all. I wish you much love. I wish you much luck. I hope you stay safe, and I will catch you soon.